Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Senator Jim Hendren, but I'm not here as Senator Jim Hendren or as the majority leader. I'm here as a kid who grew up in Gravette, Arkansas in an all-white school and had a lot to learn about race relationships after I left that school. And when I went to engineering college, and I was still basically in a all-white college surrounded by some kids from other countries, but still very few interactions with African Americans. My interactions with African Americans began when I joined the military, which was shortly after college. And that's where I began to learn that I didn't know much. And I will just tell you, one of the most exciting things to me about this bill, and I serve on the Senate Education Committee, is that it came through the Education Committee. Because we spent a lot of time arguing about whether it should be this day or that day or this date or whatever. To me, the most important aspect of this bill is we need to do a better job of educating our kids across this entire state about our history, the good and the bad, about our culture, the good and the bad, instead of just picking what is convenient to us. I just came back from the American Legion headquarters. They've got a display over there that shows the Arkansas veterans who've given their lives since 2003. And you know, one of the things you notice over there is there's African Americans and there's whites. And one of the things I appreciated most about my military service is they taught me to respect each other, as Martin Luther King said, not by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character and by the kind of people that we were. I sat in Education Committee, and I watched some of my colleagues right across the table from me be hurt by some of the things that were said, and it was offensive to me. And I determined then I was going to come down here and try to represent that we can do better. Those of us who have a deep faith know that one of the things we're taught is we should esteem others better than ourselves. And the fact is, I think that's what this bill is about. While the fact that these holidays are joint may not be offensive to you, the fact is you should know that it is offensive to many of your colleagues and your friends. And I think we have a duty and we have an obligation to put them first. I think this bill is overdue in coming. I think that nitpicking about method is petty and looking for an excuse to kill this bill. I think we should all leave here with a purpose that we are not just going to try to honor and respect each other, but we're going to do a better job of teaching our youth to do the same. Because if there's one thing that I think we are failing at in education, it is that. We are choosing sides, we are criticizing, and we are practicing division rather than commonality. So I just urge the committee to think about the value that this message sends to this state, to this country, and most importantly to our kids like me who grew up in a school that didn't get to experience interracial diversity and didn't get to experience the value that that brings. But thank God I left and I learned to respect people and I learned to be sensitive to the fact that they didn't grow up like I did. I went and saw Hidden Figures, and I went and visited with Senator Elliott the next day. And I asked her, did you live that? Did you experience that? And she told me she did. And she told me some of her personal experiences. I don't look at the world like she does because I haven't lived that and I haven't experienced that. But I tell you what, I think as a legislator, we have an obligation to try to be sensitive to other people's experiences and life outlooks. It is not the same as what many of us have experienced it. And so I implore this committee to put this issue behind us, to separate these holidays and show the honor and respect that I think is deserved and merited, and again, quit looking for off-ramps and reasons to nitpick and be against this bill. Our state deserves better. And I appreciate this committee giving me the opportunity to come and speak for it.